Hey, thanks for listening to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast. Here you will find all the latest in music technology, software and hardware, interviews and more. Also, don't forget to check out the Emlyn in the Mix YouTube channel today. Now, let's get into the podcast.
I used to think of my life as a rap star. I used to think of my life as a trap star. Record on the beat, put it on the needle. Record on the beat, put it on the needle.
Hey, and welcome back to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast, season 3, episode 42. My goodness, what a week it has been, with a lot of amazing hardware drops in the world of music technology. And we've got some cool software and hardware news today, but mostly hardware. It's one of those rare episodes where we've got a heap of hardware to talk about. So it's going to be really exciting. What is this podcast about for those of you who are new? It is, of course, about music technology, software and hardware, all the latest and greatest. I try to point you in the right direction, or at least show you what has been cool and what has dropped just recently, usually in the last week. And I think without further ado, I want to say thank you to my regular listeners. You can always shout me a coffee down below. I've got my coffee here to get through the podcast today. But yeah, without further ado, there's a lot to get stuck in and talk about today. So if you like music gear, you like all that sort of stuff, music technology in particular, you're going to love this podcast. All right, with all of that out of the way, let's start the podcast here. There's a good little promotion going over on the Roland Cloud right now, on the Roland website, and it is called the Juno 106 Total 106. Yes, it is a little promotion, but it's very nice indeed. So introducing Total 106. So if you buy a Juno 106 lifetime key, that's for the software, the Juno 106, you get 12 patch collections for free. So this is a cool little promotion they got going at the moment. And if we scroll down here, for a limited time, buy a limited key for the Juno 106 software synthesizer and get 12 patch collections for free with our Total 106 special offer. And that's a $390 value for only $149. So you're basically just buying the software and then you're getting these 12 patches for free. However, you're getting 550 additional presets when you do this. So crafted by top sound designers in a range of genres, plus you get free updates and new features for life. No paid membership required. Act fast, because this is actually, what is the date today? Gosh, you got to listen to this podcast and literally do this deal straight away, because you've only got 3 days. October 25 is the end of this little promotion. I thought it was a very good promotion, definitely worth putting in the podcast. Sorry for those future listeners out there to listen to this podcast in the future and like, whoa, you guys were talking about that. I can't believe it. I missed out on this deal. Anyway, capturing the magic of the Juno 106 right inside your favorite DAW, our favorite software version perfectly realizes the influential sound and vibe of the original and new capabilities and enhancements for today's workflows, including increased polyphony, 2 fully adjustable envelopes, plug out compatibility with the System 8 and more. And if we scroll down here, you can have a look at some of the packs you're getting. I mean, this looks tantalizing indeed, because you got Synthwave, one of my favorite genres, Juno 106 collection. You got the Techno 106 collection. You got Funk Wave. I don't even know what Funk Wave is. That sounds amazing. French House, Dark Techno, Trap. I mean, it's all here. Synth Pop. You want to keep it poppy. You want some chill 106. You need some house music. You got the Space Pop. You got New Tech and Brother Tiger, Juno 106. I'm guessing Brother Tiger is like a jungle-inspired preset pack. Anyway, looking for that perfect sound, bring your 106 to the next level with hundreds of new presets meticulously crafted and created by industry giants, free with your Total 106 lifetime key purchase. This is a cool little promotion. I really hope that if this is something you want, of course, and if you like the Roland Juno 106 sound, this is the emulation to get. It's by Roland. I mean, come on, guys. Let's have a quick listen here so I can slurp down my coffee. This is called Chill Tech. Boom. So you're going to get that real classic Juno 106 sound. I'm going to start the demo down there, but you get the idea of just how thick and full and real that emulation sounds. Right, let's move along to our next piece of news here. This is a big drop here, coming to us from Ableton. It is, of course, the Ableton Note, and I'm saying of course because I'm assuming everyone heard about this last week. This is a pretty big drop, but I shouldn't say of course because you may not have heard about this. Basically, Ableton Live is now available. Ableton Live, the DAW, not the complete DAW, of course. This is its own iOS app, but Ableton Live, a version of Ableton Live at least, is now available on your, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, you can now play with it and then transfer it across to Ableton Live. So if you're an Ableton Live user, you are going to rejoice, especially if you're an Ableton Live user who's an iPhone user. Now, sorry, Android and other phone OS people, it doesn't look like it's available for you yet, but I dare say that they're working on that in the background. I would not put it past Ableton to be working on an Android version, and we'll hear about that in the not too near distant future. But for now, iPhone and iPad and Ableton users can rejoice in one mega, what are they called, those ceremonies? Anyway, I'm just talking rubbish. Anyway, make new ideas a habit. Note is a place to start ideas, experiment with sounds, and find direction as part of your regular music making routine. It can help you hone the skill of starting or ease into a creative headspace at the start of a session. And get your idea out and play until you find one using Note's drum kits, melodic instruments, and synth sounds, or create your own sound palette by recording the sounds around you into Note's sampler instrument. Now, I've had a super busy week. This has been a nutso week. I wanted to try this before we did the podcast today. So I'm only guessing at this stage how Note works. Now, Note is a paid app too. I should probably mention it's not a free iOS app. It is a paid app, but it's not very much. I think it's like $4.99 US, $9.99 Oz. And yeah, I mean, like for what it does, supposedly it seems cool, but this is my guess, and I know I shouldn't probably be guessing on the Emlyn in the Mix podcast, but I dare say it's probably just using some of the in-house, I mean this is probably obvious, but it's using some of the in-house Ableton engine, like their instrument engines, like their drum and their synthesizer engines that they've created over the years, which are fantastic, by the way. I don't want to make them belittle those things. Those are actually very high quality instruments. So I dare say that's what Note has incorporated, thus making it very easy to transition back over to Ableton Live, the little project. So yeah, you can take it further in Live, play just for fun, or start song ideas to continue in Live. Using Ableton Cloud, you can send your Note set to Live without leaving the app. Then keep working with all the same devices as in Note, but with additional parameters available. You can edit all your MIDI notes, and all your samples and sounds from Note are exactly the same. And it's pretty cool. I mean, Live on the go. I mean, I like anything that's creative and on the go, and I guess that's what the iPhone or smartphones have allowed us to do, to be able to travel around and continue to be creative. So yeah. Anyway, this is cool. I'm not going to keep reading back here. You can check out more if you want to head over to Ableton Live, but this is, I really like this. I feel like it's pretty late to the party though. I feel like, iOS apps and iPad apps, I mean, I'm excited that they're still creating new ones, but I feel like Ableton Live having such a massive user base, maybe a little bit late to the party. Maybe they were perfecting things. Maybe there are things going in the background to perfect and get this right. But kudos to Ableton Live for doing it. All right, let's move along to our next piece of news. There's quite a bit to get through here. This is a really cool one. So this is part of a lot of the products we're going to be talking about on today's show. So basically, Arturia went to town this last week. They had their live event. We were meant to mention it last week, but anyway, they had their live event, Rendezvous, and they released 4 brand new products. This is one of them. This is in the software arena. However, don't put this down. This thing sounds phenomenal. I'm gonna have to get my hands on this and do like its own video on this, because this actually is amazing. Augmented grand piano. It sounds so good. And and I'll play a little demo back for you in a second. So Augmented grand piano delivers a multitude of expressive, contemporary and abstract piano sounds, beautifully recorded, fused with cutting-edge synthesis and brought to life with powerful modulation and expression tailor-made for modern composers and producers. And there's an intro offer, of course, as Arturia always does, not Ableton, and we're just speaking about them. A grand reimagining. Open the lid as a totally modernized piano VST experience, from the authentic to the impossible. Unlock premium piano sounds for cinematic score and library composition, immersive game soundscapes, and slick modern DAW productions with an intuitive and inspiring piano experience that transcends virtual instruments. Now, what makes Augmented piano so amazing in my mind is that, or not in my mind, but I guess in my mind, because it blows my mind, is that it's really the blending of real sampled pianos and synthesized pianos. It's like this beautiful blend, and you can get the blend just right. And I'll show you in a second, because we're going to play back this morphing. Here we go. A full piano continuum. It starts with a grand piano, and where it ends is up to you. So a detailed library of authentic and abstract piano samples, a built-in synthesis engine with 4 powerful modes, numerous forms of modulation, expression, and effects. Augmented grand piano's central morph control lets you seamlessly move between all of these aspects with a single sweep. Here we go. So I'm going to dial in the synthesis. Oh no, I can't do that here. So you can hear another layer of synthesis coming in. So see how it ends on the synthesizer. Sorry, I spoke on that demo a little bit. I know you're going to be like, oh, Emlyn, you speak all over the demos. Nah, we'll play a demo back here. This is a nice one here. Let me play this back. Have a check out this. But you heard, sorry, in that last time you heard real, and then we went to synthesizer. Oh no, you probably think, oh, whatever. But it sounds so good. Sounds so freaking good. Let's have a listen to this demo here. It's a good little demo. Get some coffee action. Very nice indeed. That is Arturia Augmented piano. Just an amazing collection of sample piano and synthesized piano. Very nice indeed. If you like those sounds, you want to check it out, head over to Arturia right now. Boom. No affiliate. There's no affiliates today, guys. No affiliate links. Although I will actually have an affiliate link from some of the past affiliate links that we've had if you're interested in getting Native Instruments, the complete bundle. We'll have a link for that down below. But let's move along to our next product. And this is probably my favorite drop for the week. This thing looks really cool. So, I mean, it's not as if I don't already have enough MIDI controllers, but this one seems to fit the bill for everything. It is, of course, the Akai MPK Mini Plus. This is another thing that just came out of nowhere, and I feel like we're seeing a lot of this hardware drop right now because it is coming up to the end of the year. I didn't expect anything because we're coming to the end of the year. I just sort of thought companies are just going to wind things down, but it kind of also makes sense that they drop now in Q4, the end of 2022. And have a bunch of products ready for the start of Q1 2023, because you're going to have, your Anaheim. Oh, actually, NAMM. I don't think NAMM starts at the start of the year anymore. Anyway, I haven't heard on that just yet. I could be behind the 8 ball on that. But usually you would have, Q4 end of Q4 in the year, you'd drop a bunch of products so that in Q1 you can show them off. But this year's maybe a little bit different. Anyway, we had a bunch of products released, as you can see, in this last week, and really at the tail end of this year. Because usually these last few podcasts I do, as we round out the year, I usually just talk about what got released again, and maybe we go over the best plugins for the year, and maybe talk about plugin of the year and that sort of thing. We'll usually do that towards the very end of the year for this podcast. Anyway, I totally digress here. MPK Mini Plus is here, and this just looks sick. I just love it. Without even just reading off the website here, you've got 8 drum pads, 8 encoders. You got a little OLED screen here, maybe a little LCD. Sorry, maybe I'm going too fanboy on here as well. Pitch wheel, expression wheel, and you got a joystick. I mean, dude, they gave you everything modulation wise. Now, if this has MPE, then I'm sold. MPE would be the killer. I don't know if it does. Let's see, 37 key Gen 2 dynamic keybed. Probably not, but I could be wrong. Let's play back the video here. So MPK Mini, boom. Full creative control. 4 octaves, 37 keys. Got door control, nice. Advanced connectivity. Okay, it's got USB MIDI CV. Step sequencer. No MPE. Damn, it just needs MPE. We're there. Anyway, it still looks nice. Even without MPE, it still looks like it's doing a lot for this mini MIDI controller. That would for me kick me over the edge. Anyway, it's fun. I still love it. I still think it's very nice. So because you're getting MPC pads, you got assignable knobs. I'd like to get my hands on one and just try one out and see. Because if it feels plasticky and it doesn't feel right, I'm not gonna be happy with that. You got the XY joystick. That's a killer. I like that. It's just a nice all-in-one. Also, the size would matter too. Now I said 4 octaves. It's actually 3. But anyway, 37 keys, Gen 2 dynamic keybed, MPK Mini Plus features 37 keys with the Gen 2 dynamic keybed for expanded melodic and harmonic creation. Sorry, my cat is meowing on the background. He really wants to be on the podcast today. Sorry, dude, you can't be on the podcast. Anyway, you got an arpeggiator, of course, solos and soundscapes, and increasingly playable keys with a wider velocity range, delivering a world-class level of note dynamics and response. And you got Creative Step Live Sequencer arpeggiator for those creative moments or doorless jam sessions. The onboard polyphonic 2-track Step Live Sequencer captures new melodic and drum patterns on the fly. 8 notes of polyphony per step, 16 notes per drum step, and an onboard arpeggiator offers endless creative possibilities. And you've got the real MPC drum pads. Velocity-sensitive RGB backlit MPC drum pads are the backbone for not only playing dynamic beats and programming drums, but for also assigning program changes and triggering additional CC parameters. So look, and you got full assignable 360 rotary knobs as well. I mean, it looks sick for what it can do. I'm loving it. It's even got chords and scale modes, transport control. It's got it all. I just like the idea of the size. I think this is a good product. It's got to be one of my favorite drops for the week here. I know it's just a MIDI controller, and if it just had some MPE, we'd be done. But maybe, is MPE proprietary, or is it like somehow I feel like MPE is not available to everybody, and maybe it's got some kind of paperwork over it, because it doesn't seem to go into everything, which is weird to me in 2022. It's weird. Or is it an expensive patent to get your hands on, as a product developer? Is it really expensive and not worth adding? And maybe there's not a demand for MPE. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just Emlyn in the mix. All right, let's move along to our next product. iLoud precision speakers dropping from Ik Multimedia this week. Another hardware drop, of course. This again, all of these, I had no inkling, I had no idea this was happening. I want to speak about this because I've actually got the MTM iLouds here, and they are some of the best reference monitors I've ever had, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. They fit the bill for that middle near field, small near field speaker. They fit the bill because I've got the larger, larger. I don't have large speakers, but I've got the 6-inch focals here as well, which are sort of, I'm treating them like they're my far field speakers, even though they're near fields as well. But they're my bigger speakers in comparison to the MTM iLouds. But the MTM iLouds are good. They got a very good bass response for their size, especially these ones, because they're 4-inch cones. They got a very good bass response. And you get the little microphone to set them up, and they just precision to your room, like they get the EQ right for your room. Phenomenal speakers, absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend if you want. And portable too, so portable, you can pop them in a bag. They've even got the smaller version, I forgot what they call it, I think they're just MTM speakers. Anyway, so now they've dropped these new iLoud precision speakers, and they look cool. I mean, they look okay. There's nothing special about how they look. And I think, again, we can't go, when we start talking about monitors and stuff, we can't go on, or even audio interfaces, we can't go, oh, that audio interface looks cool, those speakers look cool, because at the end of the day, it's how it sounds. So let me just read back some of the features, because obviously I'm not going to be able to say, hey, these speakers sound freaking amazing. I'm only basing them off their older generation speakers, which do, by the way, sound freaking good. But we'll have to check these out for sure. So facilitate ARC calibration, or ARC calibration, with step-by-step instructions and visual feedback. So you get the software. Basically, that's the thing I was talking about, where you get like the little microphone so you can check and get your speakers balanced perfectly. Displays pre and post correction response curves for precise details on room acoustics. Expands precision speaker emulation with over 20 plus iconic studio monitor profiles. Now that's cool. We're emulating here, and I'll be interested to see how that works. Lets you create and save your own custom frequency response curves, offers full control of all back panel parameters and settings via a single user interface, and manages the functionality and settings of the optional hardware remote, provides diagnostic and firmware updates to ensure peak system performance. And this is a very nice idea indeed. And if you are watching, which I hope you are here, because we are videoing on Spotify, and we're on YouTube as well. I mean, if you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, thank you very much. And you can always head over to Emlyn in the Mix on YouTube if you want to ever see or visualize what we're talking about. So the iLoud Precision Studio Monitor features built-in ARC calibration, tuning themselves to their environment with the included MEMS measurement microphone. X Monitor makes the process even easier with step-by-step instructions and visual feedback on the calibration progress. It also lets you store multiple ARC settings, convenient when you want to use your precision in different rooms or from different listening positions in the same room. Anyway, that is the new precision iLoud MTMs. Is it iLoud? Yeah, iLoud precision speakers, which look absolutely freaking amazing. All right, let's move along to our next piece of hardware news. So this dropped here from Boss, and it is, what is it? It's the DS-1W, of course, having a lovely name. Always these guitar pedals and amps have just numbers for names. Introduced in 1978 among the earlier models in the Boss Compact series, the Orange DS1 redefined the sound of distortion and remains as influential today as ever. Its hard-edged attack and smooth sustain have made it the best-selling compact effect to date, and its distinctive tone is behind the signature sound of a long list of rock and alternative icons, with the DS DS1W. This legendary stomp joins other Boss classics in the Waza Craft series, fusing the look and character of the original with the newly revised discrete all-analog circuit for expanded range and versatility. Here it is here. It is the Waza Craft Distortion DS1W. Let's play this demo back here because it's a interactive virtual demo. We can have a listen to the different modes here of distortion, and we can also check them against some of these Boss Katana Artist amplifiers here as well, and we can adjust the parameters, which is pretty crazy. Let's just play back here. I've got the distortion DS1W, I've got the tone on 2, and I've got it going through, I don't even know which one that is. Oh, here we go. Here, Boss Katana Artist. Nice, and I can change the tone. Let's try this tone here, and it's going to load. Very nice that Roland went to the extent of making this little software demo here. Dial in some distortion. Actually, it won't let me. Let's put tone 3 on and channel S. Nice, and we can try it on a different amp here. This is a Vox amp. Try a different amp. Nice. I do like that Katana amp. That's amazing. Wow, the Katana amp's totally different, isn't it? And we can bypass it, of course. Here we go. That's bypassed now. It's going through the Katana amp only. But very cool indeed. Nice little demo there. I like being able to play with it interactively off the website here. It's freaking cool. Timeless Distortion. This one instantly impacted the guitar world when launched, introducing a fresh new high-gain sound with aggressive, well-defined distortion, rich in harmonics overtones over 4+ decades, leaving players in hard rock, metal, grunge, and fusion genres have adapted the pedal to their core sounds. And the classic edge of the DS1 can be heard on countless famous tracks, both as a prime distortion for cleaning up amp platforms and to boost the drive gained up tube amps into controlled mayhem. Anyway, another drop. It's just another drop that happened. You can see there's the original if you are watching here. On the left, I mean, it basically looks the same. And there's the new one with Waza Craft written on it. Basically, it looks identical. All right, we're getting there. We're getting through all the hardware. Let's move along. And I wouldn't even dare say it's a feature. It's just we're just looking at hardware today. We're just looking at all the hardware drops. So I'm going to I'll go through these almost as one. So basically we had the Arturia Rendezvous event where they dropped 4 products. We've already looked at one of them, which is that grand augmented piano, and augmented grand piano, I should say. So they dropped an audio interface, a new one, which is MiniFuse 4. So I'll just quickly read this back to you. What it is, it is a versatile desktop audio interface. Record your songs, record your story, record anything. What? Record you. MiniFuse 4 is a next-gen 4in4 out audio and MIDI interface designed to transform your ideas into art, capture crystal clear recordings, refine with pro-grade creative software, and get your sound out there. And if we have a look here, do we have a back panel? I'm sure we can look at one. It comes in black and white. It is, of course, based off the AudioFuse audio interfaces that Arturia released a couple of years back, which I haven't heard much feedback on, although I dare say they have done okay. I mean, they were sort of going up against your Apollos, and I guess the Apollos just took the market by storm. So anyway, if you need great sound and you need great workflow to make your creativity happen, MiniFuse 4 is an evolved audio interface designed to take you there. Now, can I just say, we should appreciate all of these audio brands making their own audio interfaces because it creates competition in the market, thus bringing the prices, the savings back to you. So I do want to mention that it is vital that we have these audio interfaces competing with each other because we're going to get better products, better pricing, and better technology. So all in all, looking at this here, 4 inputs, 4 outputs, 2 headphones, 1 MIDI I/O, and it's got a full 5-pin MIDI input, which is pretty good to see. I don't think it has CV. You got 2 by USB hubs, which is great too, because if you're recording, you're taking it around with you. Although I would like to see USB-C. Is it USB-C? It is very hard to see in this picture. The pictures, gotta say, not great. Here we go. Nah, they're just traditional USB 3, and then you got USB-C to the computer. That's good though. You do have that. Actually, it's kind of good though, because there's still a lot of peripherals using that old school USB connection. Anyway, there you go. That's the first one. So that's MiniFuse 4, and then they dropped this, which looks, actually, this would almost rival my friend, the MPK Mini Plus 37. This is the, what are they calling this? Gosh, I don't even know. Let's jump up to the top here. I went right down the bottom. MiniLab 3. MiniLab 3, okay. We've got 8 drum pads, we've got 4 sliders, 8 encoders, you got a little screen. I mean, you've even got the touch, expression, and pitch mod. Find your own flow and enjoy making music with a plug-and-play MIDI keyboard that does it all. MiniLab 3 gives you easy controls, great feeling keys, and a fully integrated all-in-one software package that is ready to get creative right out of the box. All right, so go with your flow. I was about to say MPE. You know it. You know what it's about. Finally, an easy keyboard controller that adapts to your needs, your style, and your workflow so you can make music just the way you like it. Hook it up, discover fresh sounds, enjoy premium velocity sensitive keys, and get hands-on with your music like never before. Okay, so yeah, it's just another MIDI controller, but, there's got to be some incentives, right? And you get a bunch. The thing I do like about Arturia is they include a bunch of software. Usually when you buy their products, you get a heap of sounds. So included, you get Analog Lab Intro, you get Ableton Live Lite if you don't have that. The Gentleman, which is a fantastic piano, by the way. Isn't that Native Instruments? Yeah, it is. Wow, they've collaborated with Native Instruments and Ableton. That's very nice to see. Model D and UVI. They're keeping it very European here. Loop Cloud and Melodics, so you can learn with your MiniLab 3. I do like the MiniLab 3 has, again, we've got a full-size 5-pin MIDI out. It's good to see. I mean, I know that CV is kind of taken over now to CV MIDI, and it's got a wood grain panel on the side. Hell. And it's a Arturia. I have to say this. I know that I haven't played with this particular MiniLab, but Arturia's hardware is not. It is honestly up to it's tops. Like the quality, the feel is usually very, very high quality. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is of the highest quality feeling material. Usually very solid. And the keys are incredible. Although I think this keyboard I haven't seen before. I can't think of what Arturia's had this size keyboard before. Fully recyclable. Wow. Okay, they're keeping it green. Eco-design MIDI controller. Is it the world's first? Okay, that's a cool thing. I gotta say, I didn't actually get to watch that Rendezvous presentation. I wish I had watched it now, because little things like this is kind of interesting. They've made a better product for the environment means a more sustainable creative future. MiniLab 3 represents a new benchmark in eco-friendly instruments designed and built to last longer, produce less waste, and reduce our carbon footprint for good. Made with minimum 50% recycled plastic, brand new fully recyclable cardboard packaging, and a 5-year warranty. Rest assured that this keyboard takes value and sustainability seriously from manufacture to your music making setup. I like that. They went that little step further for you there. So there you go. That's the second product, or should we say third if you include the software, but second piece of hardware there from Arturia. Absolutely killing it. And this is probably the big beast, the big one here to talk about. And this here comes to us from, of course, Arturia again. I don't know why I'm saying comes to us. Damn, we need a little playback here. I want to slurp down my coffee. Anyway, MiniFreak, spontaneous algorithmic synthesizer. Now, what I'm interested to know, so is this just the same engine, or if they update it? Let's go through here, because again, I had a crazy busy week. We had all these drops, and I just, I don't care about you guys. I just didn't check into it. Nah, I care about you guys. I know you love the Emlyn Mix podcast. I digress. Boom. Shout me a coffee. Link down below. Support link down below. Also, go out and get Native Instruments Complete 14. Come on. You gotta do it. You gotta just click that link down below. Okay, I'm just being stupid. MiniFreak is a polyphonic hybrid keyboard that unites dual digital sound engines with analog filters, playful modulation, instinctive sequencing, and rich stereo effects for sounds that are immediately curious, beautiful, and chaotic in equal measure. Can I just say, I love my MicroFreak. I was trying to look up here. It's not even on here. It's down below. I love it. I really do. And I don't see the point of getting the MiniFreak unless there's something new about it. But I also don't like the size, even though it's meant to be a MiniFreak. The size looks a bit bigger than the MicroFreak. I guess Mini is bigger than Micro. Anyway, double the engines, double the fun. 2 engines. Okay, this could be where it's new 6 voices and 22 oscillator modes. From virtual analog to FM, additive to ring mod, collide contrasting mods for compounding, polyphony, timbres, feed engine 1 sounds with engine 2 for stack sonic interplay, and process external audio through its architecture to unleash any sounds wild side, whether it's a mix filling bass, textural percussion, or center stage synth lead. You can mold MiniFreak's many voices into whatever shape you desire, and that is the fun part. That is actually the fun. Let's play back a little demo here. Simple analog style pod evolves into a stuttering rhythmic motif, introducing modulation, filter sweeps, and effects. Let's have a listen. Here we go. Beautiful. Nice demo. Effortless sound experimentation. Immediate modulation means nothing is off limits. With twin LFOs, polyphonic cycling envelopes, and customizable LFO shapes, modulate your sound engines, filters, effects, even your modulation sources themselves. Anything goes with this simple but powerful modulation matrix, putting any flavor of animated, evolving, or untamed sonic alteration at your disposal in seconds. Let's have a listen back to this one. Now I'm trying, and I apologize for not knowing, but I'm trying to work out what the difference is from the MicroFreak and the MiniFreak, other than, of course, the layout and design totally changing. And we've got actual keys rather than the touch pressing sensitive, what are they called? Those little pads that you've got on the original. So you do have keys and you got a totally different layout. And I mean, I love the MicroFreak. It sounds freaking amazing. Look, this is pretty desirable because I like the MicroFreak already. I love its sounds. It definitely has its own unique place in synthesizer land. I know there's so many kinds of synthesizers. This guy does have its own place and does have its own unique sound and adjustability. This looks really cool. And I mean, look, kudos to Arturia going out and just dropping product after product. I mean, if we have a little look here, I mean, this has got all the I/O you could possibly ever need. Just for me, I guess that site, it is a little bit longer. And I guess they're going, I don't know who this is for though. Is this for your MicroFreak users, or is this, we're aiming it at new people now? Oh, it's got a proper on-off switch. My goodness. They must have listened to the community, but they've totally changed the layout. And I got to say, I like it. I really do, actually. It's got some extra little nifty features up its sleeve. I think they could be onto a winner. And it's got the MiniFreak, or that, MiniFreak, or whatever the heck it's called now. It's got those sounds on board. I like this. Has those froggy things. I'm trying to work out what those froggy things are. I know I'm just blabbering on here now. But I like it. I think the layout looks good. I think it's for sonic exploration. Look, it also comes with MiniFreak 5. It's a sound and architecture mirrored visually, so you can actually see in software form what your synthesizer is doing. Now that's pretty cool as well. And the froggies are here down the bottom. What are the froggies? Anyway, that's for you guys to find out. I just wanted to talk about these hardware drops. What do you think about them? Leave your comments in the comment section down below if you're watching us here on YouTube, or you can answer the questions I put on Spotify every week. What was your favorite product today? Because there's so much cool hardware floating around. Are you going to be getting any of this hardware? Does any of this hardware actually interest you? Do you need a new guitar pedal, the Boss Wazza craft there? Or are you going to get a new audio interface, mini fuse? Do you need some MIDI controllers? Because I gave you 2 today. You had Akai and Arturia dropping the bombs, iLoud Precision. It's all there, guys. I mean, and Ableton Note. Ableton's in your pocket now if you have an iPhone or an iPad. I mean, does an iPad fit in your pocket? Maybe. And with all of that said and done, guys, I've been talking a lot in this podcast today. I'm ready for a rest now, but I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Bit of a surprise one, lots of hardware. I enjoyed delivering it to you guys. Make sure to hit the link down below. Shout me a coffee, would love that indeed. Or hit some of our other affiliate links from previous episodes. We're coming towards the end of 2022. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast this year. I'll try and have something special for you towards the end of this year, with the last podcast being episode 50. But until then, guys, thank you so much. We'll be back next week, of course. Join me then on a musical technology journey as we come to the end of 2022. Anyway, still got a few more episodes. See you guys next week. Peace out. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to the Emlyn in the Mix podcast. Here you will find all the latest in music technology, software and hardware, interviews and more. Also, don't forget to check out the Emlyn in the Mix YouTube channel today. Till next time, keep it real.